Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. CPI came in pretty much right on expectations, and this is causing a real lackluster kind of day in the markets. We are up. We were down at one point, now we're back up again, but not really the substantial amount that we are used to seeing on CPI reports. A lot of this is because the markets have already rallied about 6% heading into CPI. So you already seen a lot of the gain beforehand. Now, in terms of AMC is up 3.5% at the time of recording this video. We are above that key level of $5 per share. This is important on a technical basis, but also important on a psychological basis. And we're going to talk about everything you need to know with AMC stock, guys. So let's get into this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Now let's get straight into it. This article says consumer prices fell 0.1% in December, in line with expectations from economists. The key points: the consumer price index fell 0.1% in December, meeting expectations. For the biggest drop since April of 2020, excluding food and energy, core CPI rose 0.3%, also in line with estimates. On an annual basis, headline CPI rose 6.5%, while core increased 5.7%. The biggest reason for the easing in inflation came from a sharp drop in gasoline prices, which are now lower on a year-over-year basis. And literally all of these metrics came right on expectation. So the markets have already priced in those expectations, and we didn't see really a move at all because of a very small drop in the beginning of trading in the pre-market. And then subsequently we've been rallying back, and the S&P 500 is up at the time of recording this video about 0.62%. Now, we are going to have bank earnings that will be coming out tomorrow, in which will be very important for the markets as we do kick off earnings season. And then after that, you got a lot of earnings, most of the S&P reporting earnings next week. And what these tech players have to say that really control the S&P and the Nasdaq, that's what is going to dictate the markets more than anything. And that is what is really going to give you a potential crash, or really signify that this could be a longer term uptrend. Now, the S&P 500 right now is feeling very bullish, and you see this rubbing off to stocks like AMC, some of your higher growth stocks, just everything. And that is because you are now above the 200-day moving average. This did happen back here in December as well, in the beginning of December, and then towards mid-December, and then you got rejected. And once you got rejected is when you fell back down to that 370 level. So if you get rejected coming from earnings, that's where you're probably going to retest these levels at least to the 380, if not the 360 level, just depending how good or bad earnings do play out to be, guys. So there is a little bit on the S&P 500. CPI, like I said, came in right on expectation, so it did not cause a big move in the markets. If we take a look at AMC more specifically, we're not really getting any company news on the day. It's more of just this effect of, CPI coming in along expectations, people getting a little bit more bullish on equities, that is causing AMC to go up 3.5%. Also, you're getting the BBBY situation, in which they have essentially said they are going to declare bankruptcy, yet they have not actually done that. And you got that sharp sell-off. Now you're kind of seeing the bounce back rally effect, and we've seen that a lot throughout 2020, 2021, and even 2022, where stocks, if they say they're going to go bankrupt, even if they are going to go bankrupt, even if that's set in stone, the stock will drop a lot on that announcement, and then subsequently start to rally back as people try to figure out, how much value is there to extract out of the share price. And that's kind of what you're seeing. Not the whole story, though. I think AMC's obviously a lot different than BBBY. It's got its own shit going on. And AMC looks a lot better even on a short squeeze kind of basis. Now, if we take a look at all of that data that you guys definitely want to know, you got 22.05% short interest of free float. You're now above 22%. We have not been above 22% in a very, very long time. And you have 113.5 million shares sold short. Ortex does say about 153,000 shares were covered on today. I absolutely don't think that is the case. I don't think shorts are at the point where they want to cover on their short positions. I think if AMC goes to 650 to like 750, that's really the sweet spot where you start to get some shorts covering on their short positions, especially when you factor in these cost to borrow rates that are through the roof. The cost to borrow average at 277.45%, cost to borrow max at 310%. That's ridiculous, and these numbers are staying at these insane levels. So these are not like glitches in the system. These are not like one-time prints. These are the actual numbers that we are getting reported. Cost to borrow minimum 7.26%. If we do take a look at the cost to borrow rates from Interactive Brokers, that is sitting at 109%. 0 shares available to be sold short here today. We did though get one weird reading of 84 shares that were available, and then 15,000 shares that were available in the kind of beginning of trading. But by and large, not a lot of shares to be sold short, mixed with good, inflation data. A good inflation report can really lead you, to see a pretty positive uptrend in AMC stock, and I don't think that is really going to change even if the markets were to come down by the end of the day. AMC is outperforming the S&P 500 by about 5x. 5 times better than the S&P 500 here today. So I don't necessarily think that has to stop, even if we do see a retracement in the markets by the end of the day. As far as option activity, you have seen 19 orders totaling $840,000, positive order value of 37%. Not a huge day as far as options are concerned as well. But nonetheless, what we have in store for us tomorrow, as far as economic data, is going to be the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey, the preliminary survey for January. This is important for inflation expectations, for just consumer overall expectations. Coming out at 10 o'clock in the morning, it will move the markets in a very substantial way and be one of the things that does give us that move tomorrow. Michigan Consumer Sentiment Surveys have given us some of the larger drops and pops throughout 2022, so it's something I definitely want to pay very close attention to. But that is really going to be it. Besides that, you don't have anything else for economic data. CPI coming in so in line with expectations. I don't think you're going to get a carry through move. It's not like it's super bullish. It's not like it's super bearish. It's literally what we expected. And after the markets rallied 6%, they're not giving you another 2 or 3% rally on top of that, at least not at the time of recording this video, guys. Now, a bigger story for tomorrow is going to be bank earnings. You have Bank of America, United Health Corporation, JP Morgan, Citi, Wells Fargo, Delta, BNY Mellon, BlackRock, and First Republic Bank. Sorry, it's a little hard to see right there. But you're going to get the 2 top dogs, the 2 top banks that are going to be reporting, JP Morgan and Bank of America. So you're going to get a lot of that consumer information reported to us here tomorrow. How are the consumers doing? Our default rates increasing, right? A lot of very important things the markets and investors care about will be reported to us tomorrow, and depending on how that goes, that could actually give you a very big move. It wouldn't surprise me if banks have terrible earnings and say some pretty bad things, that the markets are down, call it 2% tomorrow. That would not surprise me the least bit. Now, if the markets are positive, well, I think AMC continues to be in very strong positive territory as well. If we take a look at the options for this Friday, you have about 56,000 calls that are currently in the money and 45,000 calls that are out of the money. On the put side, 10,000 puts that are in the money and 44,000 puts that are out of the money. For next week, though, that's where it gets very exciting. You have about 438,000 puts that are in the money, 438,000 puts that are out of the money. A very, very large amount. Puts that are in the money, 138,000. Puts that are out of the money, 150,000. So you have like a max potential of 60 million shares, give or take, that can be hedged by market makers that could give you a very big move, guys. So that's what I'm really watching out for, and kind of looking ahead to, especially next week. You're going to get a few more earnings. You're going to probably, I would imagine, the markets don't go up forever. You might start to get a down move, but it's been a pretty good start for 2023, guys. And like I said, once you start to get in that range of, you know, 650 to 750, I think that's when shorts by and large start to look at their positions and say, hey, should we actually cover on this position? But the fact that we are above $5 per share here today, very positive. If we can remain above $5 per share by the end of the day, that's going to be insanely positive as well. And if we just draw a trend line from the gain that we have seen from the bottom just at $3.77 until today, you're up 51% in a very short amount of time. And that is why I said religiously when the stock was in this bottoming formation that every time AMC has hit a 52-week low, has been at a low, if you have bought AMC at that time, you have made a lot of money. And good thing is, for a lot of people, I don't think that is over. I don't think this run in AMC is over with by any means, and I think this one could be even bigger than November, and I think it could send us higher than where we were at in November, even touching highs of $9 per share. We'll obviously have to wait and see on all that. So that is going to be it for this video. We'll be back at 4 o'clock to wrap up this market trading, give you guys any new numbers that are coming out, and talk about a couple more interesting things, guys. So that is it for this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.